Happy New Year. Hope 2025 is a phenomenal year for you. We are back for Sweat, Sauna and Stories, episode 5 or 6, maybe. I don't know, who's counting. Today is an interesting one. I've got a guest on that means a lot to me. It's my stepson, Alfie. If anyone follows me, you'll know how much I think about Alfie. He does his CrossFit, he does his running, and he's performed phenomenally well this year. Like any parent duo, and in my case, stepson and stepfather, we have our clashes. Today was no different. Of all days to have a clash, we had a little clash, but I like to keep things real and raw. We had a little bit of a clash before, which is why we didn't get much footage in the start. We nearly called the whole thing off, but in any good relationship, we compromised in the middle, we had a good chat, we talked it out, and then we took our asses into the sauna, and we sweated it out, talked it out, and we got deep in the end up. So it was really good to have this young man there today. Tune in, let's go. Alfie, let's go. We're going to lock in for a sauna time now, then we're going to have a good chat, and we're going to try and mend this broken morning. Alfie, do the honours. Whatever a guest gets to do. I love this sound. There we are, let's go. Let's lock in. So Alfie, we're locked in sauna. Welcome. We've been in here a little bit. We've done take 2. It's getting hot in it. We're getting hot already. Yeah. So just give us a bit of an intro about who you are. Name, what you're into. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So yeah, my name's Alfie. I'm a 15-year-old CrossFitter, runner, soon to be high rock. So when I'm 16, just been waiting till I'm finally 16 to be able to do a high rocks. But yeah, that's me. And
before we get a bit deep, we'll touch surface. So I alluded to in the intro about how this morning's on. So usually we do this podcast with a bit of a sweat, then we come and have a sonic deep. So the thing we do the what, and then we come here and do the why. Like any probably father and son, or in our case stepfather and son, we clash because you're a highly testosterone driven young male who always thinks he's right. You'd agree with that, wouldn't you?
I am.
Yeah, as you can see. So this morning, or the first session, probably didn't go to plan. We still did a bit of a pump. You can see now on some B-roll, some of Alfie's CrossFit, which he's getting really good at. And but tell us why you got into CrossFit and how you've got into this world of fitness.
So I got into CrossFit by actually just going into a High Rocks. So I went to watch you at High Rocks Birmingham. Loved the event straight away, the atmosphere, everything was just amazing. Just when people were crossing the finish line, the cheering, the music, everything. And I thought, yeah, that's what I wanted to do. So following week, I signed up to Power, started doing CrossFit. Just two sessions a week, kids class.
And then what else? Running?
Oh yeah, I forgot about my running. Started running from that. Started doing about 5k, was about 26 minutes. I think the first time I went to Shoggs Park run. Went back a couple of months ago, about 19:15. So soon to be going 18 minutes, hopefully.
Love that. And the reason why I brought that up is, I want to give people a bit of an intro what you are, but I think today you were expected, because you came with, I don't know what you came dressed in, as everyone can see. You had knee pads, you had grips, you had lifting shoes and everything for a little pump, which is great because that's who you are. And we'll talk a little bit about that soon, about, you know, some great standards you've got, about how you prep, getting places on time, your diet, and I think that speaks example of you. Sometimes that backfires because when plans change, I think you struggle with that, don't you?
Yeah.
So today, guys, I like to keep stuff as real. Alfie had a bit of a misunderstanding of how this morning we're going to go, but we got a good pump in and end up. We blew his shoulders up and his arms. You can tell on you a bit more than you can on me because I've got a little layer of fat there that hopefully will be gone later into 2025. Watch your space. But Alfie, there's some great things about you with them standards. Where do you think those standards come from, and why do they drive you? This ability to want to be everywhere, prepped on time. You love getting places really early, don't you? And you've got these really high standards. So tell us a little bit about that, because I think that's quite interesting, especially for a guy who's only 15-year-old.
I don't know, I feel like when you're on time at places, I think it's just good standards to have in life. You can get more done. you know, you don't have to panic, you don't have to worry about stuff, you know, being late. And it's just good overall, I think. That's what I believe.
And for anyone listening, because there'll be a lot of people like that who then on the flip side of that get overwhelmed when plans do change. And talk us through a bit about that in your head, about when something changes or don't quite go your way, maybe as a teenage boy, how you currently handle that, but how you could handle that better.
In rugby, I fell late to a game. I'd get like really annoyed, you know, kick off with everyone while we're late.
Meltdown.
Yeah. So I think just the best off way to go around that is, it is what it is at that point. Because if you're 5 minutes late, if you shout, kick about, you're still going to be 5 minutes late. So you're best off just taking you late on that one time, and then next time, you know, making sure you set off 5 minutes earlier, just to make sure you're not late.
And I want to keep on this topic because I think this is really important for any parents out there, whether they're step parents or parents. Why do you think we clash? I think that's a really interesting one from a teenager's perspective, and about boundaries and pushing them and whatever else that you think there, and maybe elaborate on that a little bit, because I want to touch on some of this because I think it's really interesting for parents listening out there.
It's hot in here already. I don't know why, just because, you know, we're in front of the camera. I don't know. I don't know why we clash. I'm not just going to make something up. I don't have a clue. I think it just happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's really interesting for parents out there sometimes, and that one's set up. Maybe these teenagers or your kids in general don't know, and they've got to get to know, and they've got to know that, you know, there's certain standards, as we spoke about, and boundaries with parenting and kids about where that needs to lie, and that's right, and that's something as a family we're really big on in it, about having good standards, good morals, how we speak, and I have not started this podcast this way to embarrass you. This is just to show people that as a teenage boy navigating his way through life, becoming a young man, that there is emotional irregulations and learning how to regulate emotions. There is testosterone flying through your body, isn't there? And you probably feel those emotions up and down, don't you, on a day-to-day basis? What sort of helps you, though, regulate them?
Well, that's a tough one. Just getting active, I think. I think like just going to the gym is just a place where, you know, you can just train, you got naught on your mind, and it's just, whether you go to the gym yesterday or if I went today, I'd be feeling the same as if I felt at home yesterday or today. If that might be different, I feel the same at the gym. You know, I can feel good at the gym, whereas at home one day I might not be feeling the best. So I thought the gym's just a good, safe place to be.
Nice, I love that. And listen, I've picked on you a bit there to get started because I think it's good sometimes to not paint a perfect picture. I'm not the perfect dad or stepdad. You know, I have my moments where, as I said, I clash. I didn't know what to call this off today, and I'm glad that we kept this going so we could actually get deep, because I want these to be real and raw, these podcasts, and truly show you that my life especially, I'm not Mr. Perfect, far from. You know, a lot of stuff don't go my way. I'm very normal in everything that I do. But Alfie, as much as I've picked on you a little bit, or we've picked on some topics and got deep, there's some great things. I want to talk about some progress you've made, like your sister, in your running. So I think we'll talk about how your running's progressed a bit here, but some of the stuff you've achieved at school, and where you've come from, maybe in cross country and things like that. I think that's really good before we take a break to really set the scene on some amazing stuff, because I'm unbelievably proud of you. I'm unbelievably proud of the young man that you are. As I had a bit of fun a minute ago, 99% of the time you couldn't have a better son or stepson. The way that you train, the way you can do it yourself, you know, you don't go walking the streets, you're not into anything negative. There's that little 1% that you know, we'll call it more 5-10% that we're working on, and we've got some stuff that you're doing on an evening now, which we'll talk about in a bit. But yeah, so sort of take us through your journey. I know you watch them Iroxes, but I'm unbelievably proud of where you started, because you self-started. You want to go and do that first part run, to where you are now and what you're sort of achieving, and Tempo Tuesdays and the rest of it.
Yeah, so I think we'll go through like school first. So in year 7, did cross country, did not qualify, came about 12th or something, nowhere near. Did the 800 metre, came 4th out of 6, so just wasn't good. Anyway, year 8, we was away, so I couldn't do the cross country, but there were no chance again. Came third in the 800 metre. So it's a bit better. I was happy to first get my medal, but I knew I had to do something. Year 9, 800 metre, first place with like a 220, 227 or something, which I'm happy with. Obviously not doing short distance. And just a couple of months later, beginning of year 10, which is this year I'm in now, cross country we came first and set a new school record.
Massive, isn't it?
Yeah, which I'm happy with. And then, so going on from about year 9, when I knew I wanted to take my running to the next level, I started going out to Run Tribe. You know, it was just the Sunday runs, trying to hang on for 60-minute 10Ks. I know that's very steady pace for me now, but at the time that was pretty fast. I didn't know if I could carry on. Sometimes I have to walk and meet them back. To now doing the tempo Tuesday runs, which is nasty, 5 kilometre uphill, 5 kilometre basically as hard as you can downhill. So, you know, it just shows how far my running's come and how that's helping me outside. So then from the cross country I went to Calderdale, came 10th then. Probably could have, should have placed a bit higher, but it is what it is, not racing it. So I'm going to regionals in 3 week Saturday, I believe. So we see how we do then, you know. Hopefully a decent position, but it's a lot better to qualify for regionals for the first time.
I think you're a good example for anyone listening about how hard work can beat talent when talent don't work hard, and I don't mean that in a negative sense to you, Alfie. You'll see yourself very much like me. We're very similar in that sense, very similar, that maybe things don't come easy to us, running techniques and, you know, in your case now CrossFit lifting and the other things, and I always say I'm at rugby with Olympic lifting, but what we are willing to do is outwork people, and I think you've sort of epitomised that this last year about how hard you're willing to work, and maybe at times too hard, and I know people might think you can't do that, but I think at your age with lots going on, because that's when you sometimes do struggle in it, when you're tired, and I think that's why it's really important for anyone listening, whether you've got a teenager or not, it's about getting that sleep, it's about getting that hydration, it's about getting everything else in around that gym session, innit? But tell us a bit about where that comes from, that hard work and that ability to, or that mindset to want to outwork people, and not just outwork people, but outwork where you're currently at.
I think it first started, I read the Marcus Rashford books, got it from the library. I think that first helped, just to see what he was like saying in his books about how you need to practice, and it was only little stuff, but it helped massively into like my mentality. It's like when I was first running, like I just give up if it won't go my way. Now I'll just push through even if it isn't going my way still. I remember went to parkrun, tried sticking on with fast ones for a 20-minute 5k. Finished, no, I ain't even finished. I gave up on first still because I couldn't hold it. To now, you know, training, pushing myself to being, you know, a minute ahead of that now. So probably just the Marcus Rashford books, and then probably competition with others. You know, I got a mate from school who were faster than me at the time, called Lucas, and you know, I just wanted to be faster than him. So probably just what it is.
So we're back for round 2. How are you feeling?
Good and hot.
Yeah. So we'll get a little bit deeper now. When I had Aubrey on, she spoke about inspiration. So it's a 2-part question. One is how did you feel that you were a fitness inspiration, and how do you feel about her journey, what she's been on and is currently on? And the second part is talk me through some of your inspirations and why. So a bit to go through there.
Jake Deedon. I think that's mainly just because after watching one of his podcasts, he's got a very similar story to me as when he was a 15-year-old kid.
Yeah.
You know, stopping football, stopped playing football. Like I've just stopped playing rugby, and then went to cross country. Came I think he came 6th in Wigan, which is like the Calderdale for us. Next round he came 300th. probably gonna end up being me. Probably gonna end up being me. But you know, I'll push it as hard as I can, try and do the best I can. But you know, I'm not just a runner. I'm a CrossFitter, high rock, so now a cyclist maybe.
Yeah.
Everything. And I'd also say, Hunter, not just because of like what I've seen from him. I think it's just from watching him. It just made me think, wow, like he's insane. And he also came from a CrossFit background, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
So probably Hunter as well. That's what I'd say.
Love that. What about your sister? That question.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry,
What
forgot about that.
Yeah, about what you thought about what her inspiration for you and a bit about her journey.
Yeah, my sister's journey's mint. Like, it's scary because she's getting close to me now. I remember, it came up my highlights the other day. I was pacing her for a 5k at the track. She got 28 minutes, but it was only like beginning of last year. She was running a 35-minute shrugs. So then me pacing her for a 28-minute PB on the track was insane. And then at the park run the other day, she got 22:09. It's scary because I was getting that a couple of months ago, so I don't think it'll go until she texts me in the running game.
You think that, yeah?
Nah, no, she won't accept me, but she'll be getting near my time, especially for her age as well. And if she ends up going to the same school I do, I don't know if my record's going to be there much longer.
And what do you think it is about her that makes her? Because she's talented, isn't she? What do you think? Why do you think that is?
Competition as well. I think she likes competition. I think she likes to show off. I think she likes to be the best, and that's a good thing. I think that is a good thing. So I'd say that mainly with her, yeah.
Love that. And some stuff I want to touch on a little bit more now as well is away from fitness. You know, you've done a lot with ANDYSMANCLUB.
Yeah.
And I know that whole journey's had a bit of a profound impact on your life, hasn't it? Tell us a little bit about that, from, you know, the tragic ending of Andy right through to... Cause I talk a lot about you and the impact that you had on me starting ANDYSMANCLUB, but it'd be interesting to just hear that sort of from your perspective.
Yeah, so, you know, I lost my uncle at a young age. It's a tough thing. As a young lad, I was only about... Six, yeah, I was 6, so definitely not the easiest, you know. I had questions to ask, I didn't understand. But I think when I finally realised, it was good to see what had come from it, with ANDYSMANCLUB. You know, it's helped other people, and I think it's tough, you know, and I miss my uncle still now. But it's good to see how it's helping other people, and I want to do what I can to help others. So other people that's feel what I did when I lost my uncle.
Love that, and tell people about some crazy stuff that you've done, from bus tours to Man United, Man City. Tell some people about that.
Yeah, so I did the bus tour. We went north to Scotland, which was...
Stopping every time we've got a group in City.
Which wasn't a lot of the time.
28 total, wasn't it?
28 we had at the time. Was that just north or overall?
Total.
Yeah, so we stopped at probably about 14 north, we'll just say then.
Yeah.
Actually now we've got 200 plus groups.
Yeah.
Can't count it anymore. And then City. I don't like City, but it was a good game at the time because I didn't want Liverpool to win the league. I'd rather City just win it again. So I went there, you know, in the box. It was a good experience.
They looked after us, didn't they? They really
Yeah.
You could see why they're a world-class club, the way they looked after us, couldn't you?
Yeah, it was amazing. And then United, that was the proper one. Being United socials, doing a video there, getting Andrew's name printed on the back of the top. That was a top day. That's a top day for me. Another one I forgot about is I won Caldell Young Community Champion Award about 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
For my involvement in the charity and helping.
So, while we're on the subject of ANDYSMANCLUB and, you know, out to get off your chest, is a big question at ANDYSMANCLUB. What's something Alfie had to get off his chest? Maybe something as a young 15-year-old that you struggle with, and then also what other 15-year-olds probably struggle with at this type of age. A lot of parents listening who would like to understand that.
I'm not sure. It's a tough hot spot there to actually get something out. I don't know. It's a tough question. Not much I could really say, to be honest.
Nothing you sort of struggle with?
No, it's not what I'd like to say.
And what about what other 15-year-olds may go through that's a bit of a tough time at school and in life?
I'm not sure, you know. I think it's about balancing everything with school, which is tough. You know, balancing sport, sleep, homework. It is tough with school. Like, sometimes I find myself up at 5:45 in the morning trying to get my homework done because I've been at gym till late the night before and not had time. I think it's a tough balance to get it all in. Gym, homework and school, obviously. That's why I'm not looking forward to going back to school tomorrow. Hopefully it snows bad enough I don't have to go in.
I think though for a guy who's got good standards, you'd know that homework needs doing first, don't you?
Yeah.
And that's something he's prioritising, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's boring, it's tough, I don't like doing it, but I always get it done. I do get my homework done, which is a good thing, I guess.
So, what's the goals for the future? Because I know that we've sat down, you've got your BU adult journal out for the first time, and you've really been setting yourself some goals. You've had a bit of a challenge, but I want you to tell people what it's been like using that BU journal for you, setting them goals, keeping accountable, some of the stuff you're doing on your challenge, and what 2025 is going to look like for Alfie Roberts.
So 2025 potentially could see my first high rocks, which would be good depending on thing, because I'm in December, so it gives us a month, but probably going to be 2026 to be honest. With my CrossFit, I want to do as many comps as possible. You know, get into some big ones. You know, just get everything I have, try and place as high as possible. And goals for the future. High Rocks Elite 15. I don't know, High Rocks World Champ. High Rocks World Champ.
And what about the journal and your challenge you're currently on to start the new year off?
Oh yeah, I'm doing Gymshark 66. It's a 66-day challenge. You're supposed to use 3 stuff. You're going to do every day for the 66 days. I'm doing 4, but it's... Sorry?
What are they?
Right, read 10 pages, my book.
Tell us why you're doing them each time. So why do you want to read 10 pages of a book?
It's just good for discipline. It's just a good habit to get into. Especially before bed, keeps me off your phone before bed, straight to bed, better sleep. My second is drink 2 litres of water a day, but I've changed that to 3. I'm doing 3 instead. Just healthy habits again. The others train every day, so that's not full intensity training. That can be just going for a 30-minute walk, you know, active recovery. And the other was...
Journaling.
No, it won't. That's part of my book.
Clean.
Yeah, eat clean. So I'm on a healthy diet. I was anyway, but I love a bit of chocolate and that, sweets every now and then. Quite often actually on way to school, on my own from school. So that's all stopped. Like, to school has been chicken and rice, you know, just how it is now.
And just for a disclaimer, none of that's been forced upon you, has it?
No, I make it myself every night, isn't it? Just what I do.
Yeah, your mum makes it.
I make it.
Yeah, your mum makes it. Let's not take that away from me. Your mum makes that food every night for you next day.
I make it.
But that's another example of where he is a 15-year-old boy. It were only the other day that your biggest gratitude were for your mum for always making you pack lunch. So that'll be interesting when you watch his part later, and he's now claimed that he makes that every day. And so, Alfie, to finalise, we normally get the guests, we go backwards and forwards with a few questions. I'm going to start with one, and I asked it Aubrey's, is what could I improve as a man and I want to say a partner, as a man and as a parent to help both you and your 2 sisters?
Can we quickly have a walk break, because I feel like I'm about to die.
Quick tap out. What we're going to do now, Alf, we'll go out there for a bit of a back and forth questioning, but before we start that, we've got 3 questions each. Always do this with guests. First question for me, which I asked Aubrey, is what do you think I could do to improve as a parent for you and your 2 sisters?
That's a tough question to think of straight away. Get us on time at places.
I'll accept that. Keep that.
Yeah.
Keep it real, mate. Unload here if you want.
No. I'm trying to think. That's probably the top thing we struggle with. I would mainly fall out because I'm late everywhere whenever you take me.
Yeah.
That's why I never let you bring me to school or anything, because I want to be on time at places.
I'll accept that.
Yeah.
I'm a very busy man and I try and fit everything in, do the best for him. But yeah, timekeeping is definitely something I need to improve on in 2025, so I'll take that. Your question?
So you've got your Mission Possible challenge. Explain what that is and is about you're nervous about for it.
Great question. This year, taking on 10 events, 5 UK Ironman events, 3 halves and 2 fulls. Ironman Leeds and Wales being the 2 tough ones, very hilly.
With Johnny.
With Johnny, my good pal. So actually, if I'm being honest, the hard bit for me is fitting in the training. I've got a very busy business at the minute. This year's all going to get busier. ANDYSMANCLUB, you know, as a charity that I chair, is growing. So it's fitting in that training and being real disciplined to get that training while not sacrificing what I really believe in, which is sleep, which is, you know, getting that quality time with you guys as well. So fitting that, and that's what I've liked about cycling with you, and you know, getting you in that game as well, which has been good. So that's a really big one. So who or what is something you're grateful for in life at the moment, and why?
I say I'm grateful for my coaches. I'm quite hard to coach. Quite thick, I say.
No, you're not thick.
I struggle with movements, like...
That's a bit different than thick. Never call yourself thick.
I struggle with movements like just simple stuff like having to move 2 things at the same time. I couldn't work out how to push something on my head and move my legs at the same time. It's just something that didn't work for me.
No, it doesn't. It can do muscle ups and that.
Yeah.
So you're not thick, are you? You just
No.
Sometimes you just take time to learn things.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Takes me longer than most people. Apart from muscle ups, they came pretty quick. So you attempted to go 110.
Sub 110.
Sub 110 at High Rocks, Glasgow. You're at 110.44, so you're not far out. I know there'll be stuff in that you could have improved from, and you've probably improved since then. With your Ironman challenges, is there any chance you can go and attempt that again?
Yeah, I'd like to. I'd like to go and get that done. I've not trained like that much. I didn't train like that before IROX. I like to run. That's the only thing I really like to do. You know, we've set a little gym up at home now, so I probably need to utilise that so that if an opportunity comes to jump on an IROX, that I'll be ready to go on that, as well as my Ironman. And it's not just Ironman. I've got Great Birmingham Run, Great Scotland Run, Great North Run, Southampton APB Marathon. So lots going on there. So my third and final question for you is when you get overwhelmed or when you get frustrated or angry, what is one way or a couple of ways that you can start to deal with that better so you don't nearly fuck up a podcast like you did today? Or other things?
Probably just breathe. Instead of just getting angry and arguing at the moment, shouting, calling your stuff, just walk away, breathe and come back in a better space.
And that's one of your goals for this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got down on your BU journey.
Yeah, that's one of my goals. Question for you. I've done 2 fitness ones, so I'd like everyone to keep it on that page still. Yeah, we will. You got what marathons have you got this year?
APB, that's the main marathon, and then 2 marathons within Ironman.
Alright then, set a goal. What time do you want in your marathon?
I'd like to go sub 4 within the Ironman Leeds one.
Yeah.
I'd like to achieve that. And I've done a sub 3:30 in a marathon on its own, but sub 4 for me within a marathon, within an Ironman, will be really big. If I can touch wood, stay injury free, and you know I've just got all this chest infection, and it's took me a while to get back into things, but I'm back training now. I'd like to go sub 3:30 again at APB. So yeah, let's see how that goes.
Bonus question. When I'm old enough, I think it must be 18 to do a marathon, who wins?
Me. Now we're just going to do 3 questions from Charlotte. So we're going to do a quick backwards and forwards before we get kicked out. Over to you, Charlotte.
Okay, so what do you believe is your greatest strength and how has it shaped your journey?
So for me, I think mine is the 2 that I'd come straight to mind. One is storytelling. I love storytelling. It's what I do for a living. You know, rugby lads used to call me Roald Dahl, so I love telling stories. The other one would be my what's next era and seeing through problems the best I can. You know, sometimes in the heat of the moment, there's a lot going on. I'm really good if there's a real big problem. Sometimes lots of little things ain't my greatest strength, but when there's a real big problem, to oversee it, that's my biggest strength. ANDYSMANCLUB and in my business, so that'd be mine.
Biggest strengths, I'd like to say my hard work and determination. You know, I'm not the best at a lot of stuff, but I'll put the effort in, I'll push myself as hard as I possibly can to get faster, fitter, stronger. So I'd say that's my biggest strength.
Okay, so seeing as it's the new year, what's one of the most memorable experiences that you had last year?
My most memorable experience, I've done a lot of good stuff with a charity, all that, but in terms of memory, it'd have to be Forge Fitness Comp. I really enjoyed that, my first proper comp.
Yeah, lots of amazing things happened in 2024. Seeing the kids progress was certainly up there. But personally, I really liked going to Nice with Lisa. When you both own businesses and life's busy, 3 kids, a dog, it can often be hard to just go away. And went and support some friends out in Nice for a World Champ High Rocks, and it was just great to get that time together and be over there and just a stress-free weekend. That one that stands out to me.
When do you feel most like yourself, and what circumstances bring that out in you?
I love staying in the gym. When I'm in the gym, I feel like myself and to express myself. Because you get mixed emotions in the gym. You can get angry at yourself for the lift, and I think it's the adrenaline. I love the adrenaline, and you're a different person in the gym to you are outside the gym, and that's what I love.
So when do I feel most like myself? I think it's a really interesting question because I believe we've got many selves. I'm a very extroverted person, so put me in a crowd of lads and I can be a certain type of self, and I like to keep it real and raw, but if we're being honest, we play many different characters, don't we? So there's Luke who sits at home just before he gets in bed and meditates and writes in his journal and reads his book and sits in bath and loves alone time. Just me, and I want to be on my own, and that's sometimes when I'm most comfortable. Other time I want to be surrounded by people, having banter, and there's the leader Luke, which is the one who's at ANDYSMANCLUB or at work, and I want to be that Luke. So I think to put yourself in one box and say you are just one self isn't always true. We have multiple facets of who we really are, and I think we play different characters, and it's being comfortable in each show of which character you are. Alfie, we had a rocky start, and I think that's what's really good about this podcast, that we went ahead and did it because I think it's ended how it should end. You should never go to bed on an argument. Things don't always go your way. We took some time to breathe it out. We settled his differences, and here we are. We finished a podcast, and I really want to say thank you for coming on. I ask every guest, how's it been for you today?
It's been good, like you said, we had a rocky start. But yeah, I've enjoyed it, especially this bit. It's so no hot. It's tougher than normal. Just come back to what you said about went to World Champs in Nice. Next time you got one, then you'll be watching me.